Hello, everyone. Today we're talking about perhaps the most important subject for Go players, and that is how good the player is, and that is your rating or your rank. Specifically, we're focusing on the US rating system, the American Go Association's rating system. This is a rank of how strong you are as a Go player. First thing, how to check your ratings. usgo.org, click the AGA Ratings icon, it'll take you to this interface. There is one more trick here, which is here, tournament activity. Type in how many years you want, and if you type in 1 year here, this is anyone who has played in an AGA tournament in the last 1 year. The date range is right here, and this is a list that you guys can see. You can sort by rating, you can sort by name, sort by sigma type or whatever. This is me. This is Ryan. This is and if you type in 3 years, more people would show up as the last 3 years of tournament data comes in. Like Han shows up, Yumko shows up, and so on. And you can click on their names. This is how many games they've played, how many wins and losses in this time span. Of course, we're interested in the highest number of years possible. 100 years does not go above 100. No, there's no databases past 1980s or so. Anyways, so here more and more people would show up. Like Hajin played some US tournaments. And a lot of like one and done kind of players would show up then, and you can see more and more players. So there's quite a pretty good list, and you can always filter and things like that. Now, when it comes to rating, this is Discord. This is the online discussion English version. There's an American Go Association Discord, and there's I'm pretty new to this. I come in. This is general, and then the most active, most talked about thread or discussion topic is, of course, AGA ratings, and this one is a very this discussion goes for a very long time. We have heated discussions, we have people complaints, we have didn't see anyone brag here yet about how high their AGA rating is yet, but I'm sure there are. Anyways, there's a lot of discussion, very lively. And one of the biggest discussion points, of course, for us as Go players is how to get a higher rating. Well, one, get stronger at the game, and stuff like that. Then you can win more of your games, and of course, after winning more of your games, you can go up in rating. This is where all of the frustration and the complaints and discussion centers on. Texas Wolf here, AGA's strongest Wandan. He is notoriously a very strong Wandan Go player, and he's won lots and lots of games, but his rating is still AGA Wandan, and so he's one of the more. I gave this feedback. I won a lot of games, and of course I still can't go up. This is very frustrating to him. I hope AGA ranks him up soon, and the system sort of is made better as a result. Devin Fraze, he is the president, the owner of Baduk Club. He does a lot of streaming and very helpful for the Go community. He says, showing up to an event and losing to a sandbagger is not fun. So there is some very important discussion points, and the AGA rating has a big effect. Now, if you're for many players, getting a certain rank is like their accomplishment. It's like their goal. For me, that is also a very, very important goal, to have to reach a certain level of rating and then to keep it there and so on. This is one of the more important things that people play Go for, a sense of accomplishment, and that comes with a certain rating point. And so Devin is raising a point here. They're talking the AGA rating system may be improved to help people, help attract people to play more tournaments. And there are many reasons people do not play, and so on and so on. As you guys can see, many players have played in the past, but have much less Go players have played in the last year or so. So having a more responsive or a more well-designed or functioning ratings system will help attract more people to the AGA Go tournaments. It's one of the reasons people go to the tournaments, to climb the ladder. And so here we are at the ratings page, and we have several links down here, and we're going to check out how the AGA ratings actually work. Now, the AGA ratings is based on ELO ratings. This is very common, and European has ratings like that. All the Asian Go associations have their own version of their own ELO ratings. And so the first thing you'll see here is a brief description of how the rating systems work, and most commonly asked questions about the rating system date back to 1990 and 1992. So this system has been in place, and I take it has not been touched in a while. All right, open these up for you. This is the most commonly asked questions. Just keep in mind that 1992, some of these may not be current. In this, they say things like numerical rating points. 100 rating points is equal to 1 dan. The AGA, if you guys remember, have ratings in the decimal places, and 100 just equates to 1.00 here as a rating. So it's okay. So 100 is 1 dan. This is saying if you get a handicapped stone, it affects how the win percentages are calculated. Win probabilities are assigned. Of course, so if you are a 5 dan player playing against a 3 dan at an even game, you are highly expected to win. Your win rate is assigned as very high. First, how do you get an AGA rating? How do I find my current rating? Go to that website, play in one AGA tournament. How are handicap games handled by the system? They're adjusted. They adjust a win percentage for you, as we just talked about, and so if it's a fair game, then a 2 rank difference roughly equates to a 2 stone handicap, and in that game, it's it's taken as like a 50-50 game, and you win or lose rating based on that. Will it help or hurt my rating, and so on? Okay, what's the relationship between my rating and my rank? Rating is your rank, basically. You can your rank is often also taken as the highest rank you've achieved. So if you are a 5 dan, basically sometimes people say that your lifetime 5 dan. Sometimes most of the AGA tournaments nowadays talk about the current rating. So, and current rank is like your real rank, usually speaking. Okay, here is the main question. I've been 1 dan for 2 years, but my rating has never been above, this is a 1Q. Why does my AGA rating lag behind my true strengths by so much? Claim a rank, such ranks, blah, blah, blah. The truth is, the rating is calculated by your win-loss record and so on, and it does not, it doesn't say anything about your rank, and so these two can be very unrelated. How many games do I have to win a promotion? This is what everyone's most pressing question about the rating system is. So every time you win a game, you gain some number of rated points. This is a very, very good sign. All else being equal, beating a player of your own rating will gain you 30 rating points. That's a 0.3 dans. That's very, very high. So 3 or 4 games in a row will get you a promotion, as claimed here. Remember 1992 and everything. Okay, what kind of crazy system does that? I went 3-2 and I lost rating, and that's because you beat if you beat weaker players and you lose to weaker players, if they give, so the rating differences adjusted by the handicaps gives a win probability. So if your win probability was 80% in this tournament, and so you're expected to win 4-1, and you go 3-2, then you would lose because you've underperformed your win probability. That's what the gist of it is here. So if you play weaker players, you have to win 4 or 5 games to equal 1 loss to gain the to gain the number of rating it takes for that you'll lose in 1 loss, basically. Okay, I noticed the AGA rating system shows a handful of 7 dans and 8 dans. How did American players get so strong so fast? Well, this is 1992, and nowadays the 8 dans are probably a bit fewer. Anyways, more people play now and everything, so that's good. How are players assigned an initial rating? When you play a tournament, usually the first tournament you play is an estimated rank, and it's gonna be, you're gonna prove it based on some so-and-so, your Fox 5 dan. That usually will get you like an AGA 2 or 3 dan. If you want to play as a 4 dan, they'll probably let you do it. What is exactly my rating based on? A list of your game records. Okay, great. So this is 1992. Remember the key claim in this? 3 to 4 games in a row against players of equal rank or equal rating earns you a promotion. So that is much faster than my experience. Okay, here's inside the AGA rating system, numerical scale, who's stronger, credibility, does not tell you precisely how strong you are. It tells you how you stand relative to other players, which is exactly how strong you are, so this is good. The statistical model, the likelihood of outcomes, this is the win probability as discussed. If your rating is higher, you're assigned a much higher probability of winning. Now, some parameter values here. Exactly what does that mean? And here it gives a example. 100 rating points equals to 1 dan level, 4 dan versus 3 dan. It says you should win 83% of the time, and against for 2 ranks or a 7.0 versus 5.0, the percentage is 97%. These two percentages seem very, very high to me. But it's if you said 2 ranks, 83%, that's too low for sure. So it's not outside of the bounds. And remember, this is 1990. This is 1990. Okay, and so there's some parameters, and the Komi and handicaps can address this difference somewhat, or so 2 stone handicap between a 6.0 and a 3.0 would be probably an equivalent of a 100 rating points edge. So you expect the 610 to win 83% of the time. That seems a little high, but 70% would be reasonable. Improving players. Yes, this is the key complaint of most players. I'm a rapidly improving player, and so I'm a 5-dan now. The AGA has me as a 2Q. Let me go up. This is very, very, and this gets at the heart of Texas Wolf AGA's strongest 1-dan. And most people have this. And yes, and so here we have, unfortunately, so there's two relatively recent, there's only one relatively recent article here. That's how to use the ratings display. And the most up-to-date ratings information we have is here, April 2010. April 2010, 2010, the AGA rating system. Mathematical description, guys. I'll do my best to summarize this here, but probability of PRI exponential, 1 over square root of 2 pi. This is a little bit difficult, and I have not read through this entire thing and understood it. So I'll do my best to summarize this for you. If you guys are don't want to be bothered with the math, skip over to the next section where we look at people's actual ratings and some changes as a result of tournaments. Game results are modeled the handicap equivalent, and then they assign a very good win rate possibilities. Some equations, yes, probability of winning, and so on. Probability of white winning, 1 over ERF, I have no idea, sigma px square root of 2. Sounds interesting. Anyways, this is a fancy way of saying if your rating is higher, you're expected to win much more. And if there's a handicap, it's sort of you can sort of just adjust your opponent's rank by the handicap and adjust it somehow. Usually 2 handicaps is 1 rank. Okay. Error function, okay, we'll ignore that. Probability of black wins, 1 minus the probability of white wins. Great. Maximum, the likelihood function, oh boy, likelihood function, okay. Implementation, great. Maximum likelihood, okay. Now here is one thing that is a little bit of a bad news for you guys, and for you guys looking to climb the ladder. The ranking system based on these maximum likelihood functions, statistics, all this means is the AGA ratings exist not so that you can climb the rank to a higher ranking system, to a higher level or something. It exists to figure out your true relative strengths versus the other players. So it exists to find your maximum likely rating. And that's very bad news for you guys looking to climb, because of course the more games you play, the more the AGA rating system figures you out. And so as a result of this, it will become increasingly hard to nudge or change your AGA rating based on your recent wins. The more games you play, the less easy it will be to change your rating or to gain rating. And so unfortunately, this is unfortunately if you guys are looking to climb the rating. Right, for the probability of a player's rating is, again, we see that square root of 2 pi x per e to the squared over 2 something something. This is all just evolving maximum likelihood for your rating. So this is how your rating is going to judge you after you based on your results game after game. So the more sure it is of your current rating, the less your rating will move. Fisher information matrix. I equals nice. A matrix of double derivatives with logs. Exactly what I needed to see here, guys. And transform inverse of the matrix. Nice. Exactly what I needed to see here. Kronecker delta function. Yes, exactly what I needed. Second derivative of log black wins. Okay, great. Initial player seeding, great. All of this just gave us one parameter which was extremely important, which is the sigma. The sigma is the Greek letter for change, and basically the higher your sigma, the more your ratings can change. So that's a good thing. If you're looking to climb the rank ladder, you want a higher and higher sigma. A new 3 dan is given an initial rating of 3.5. Great. Self-promotions. Self-promotion is a necessary part of the AGA ratings. Allows the system to develop, to adapt rapidly and compensates for inactive players. Great. Player who claims a 3 or more stones of improvement from his last rating and wins at least one game at the new rating, we assume that a promotion is largely supported, proven by actual play. And so they will simply reseed the player at the claimed rating. Now remember, this is 2010, so take this with, I'm not sure if this has changed. So now there you go, you guys see Texas Wolf, the strongest AGA 1 dan. Now you know what you need to do now. You need to claim a 3 or more stones of improvement, and from the last calculated rating, win at least one game at the new rating, and then you will reseed the player. Not only do you reseed the player at a higher rating, you also get all the goodness of the high sigma that comes in. So initial sigma, this is great. Initial sigma is very high for the, this is negative 30Q, so AGA ratings really start around this area. So initial sigma, you can move a lot. And then this is 6 or 7 dan. The initial sigma is around 1, which is pretty good. Okay, out of date ratings. Here is how your sigma will change with the elapsed number of days. This is another very good idea. So the longer the time has spent before your last rating update, the more your sigma sort of recovers. Think of sigma as your ability for your rating to move, or the easiness of your rating to move. Sigma 0005 day to the -1, so 0005 per day, I guess this means. Unfortunately, this is a little low. As you guys can see here, a year is 300 days, so unfortunately 300 days your sigma only recovers 0.15, which is supported here with this graph. and there's a exponential function here, so it sort of increases a little more rapidly. But this is 1500 days. That's like 4.5 years. Where your rating goes from 1.0 to 1.3 or 1.2. Okay, so this tells us that basically your sigma doesn't change. All right, back to the biggest discussion. I'm the strongest AGA Wandan. How do I get my rating to go up faster? Because my rating has been stuck at AGA Wandan for so long. I keep winning so many games, but my rating does not budge. This is very, very common. We just look at this. We just talked about waiting for a long time to play a game. Your sigma will recover with out-of-date ratings, but you're going to have to wait a very long time. Waiting 5 years, which is around here, will increase your sigma by 0.3. Needless to say, the AGA probably does not want any of our members to wait 5 years before playing another AGA tournament. Now, the second the most successful way we have seen already, promotion by 3 or more stones. Very, very good idea. Now, as you can imagine, there's a whole host of problems that come after you self-promote. One, do your opponents play against your old rating or your self-promoted rating? This can be very, very unfair. And as you can imagine, if everyone has to self-promote to have good games, then the rating and ranks just is out the window, right? Then the rating just loses all of its credibility. So let's take a look at some people's actual ratings. Unfortunately, I do not know Texas Wolf's actual name, so we don't know. We can't pull him up and check out his record. We do have a lot of players, which is good. So here's the AGA ratings page. First, let's see who has the highest sigma. This guy, as we saw in that graph, the lower ranked players tend to have very high sigma, which is very true, which is reasonable, and players who are very inactive have very high sigmas too. So this guy, he's only played one rated game. I take it he started around 1.3, 1.2. And then, many years have passed, so, some time has passed, so his sigma slowly went back up. We didn't go over how sigma changes or how your ability to move changes, but it's heavily, heavily dependent on the number of games you have played. Let's put this. Let's do the whole lifetime of the AGA here. Li Hajing here has a 0.65 sigma, has played these games, but she has not lost yet. So reasonably, this sigma is one of the higher ones that we saw. Rin Ai Wei here, her sigma is also very high. Also, she didn't have any losses. Let's go find some players who have had losses, like Feng Yun, 41 and 6, 0.38, very reasonable. This guy, 7 and 2, his rating dips very down very fast, only 7 and 2, and his rating for 0.49. This guy, Han Han hasn't lost, but he has played a lot of games, so his sigma declines. This guy, he's lost 5 games, so the AGA is like, okay, we're reasonably sure of your rating here, 42 and 5. Now remember how the sigma recovers. There was a whole square root of some to the number of days and stuff. So this guy's expiration is 2009, and his sigma is still 0.28. So this makes me think maybe his the sigma recovery is not implemented, or another thing is maybe the sigma recovery goes by an exponential function as well. So if his sigma went down to 0.20, and you know that exponential increase over 10 years, it got him to a 40% increase. Probably this means that his sigma has not been updated yet. So probably hard to think. Anyways, so we see a lot of these. The highly okay, and let's take a look at someone with a lot of games. This guy, 40 and 8. Let's go down the list and see some players who have a reasonably similar win-loss record. So this guy's 4 and 4, 0.46. Okay, great. So okay, so here is the most important second trick to how to get a higher rating, or game the system, if you will. So we just saw one thing. You have to try to self-promote by 3 ranks and win games at the new rank. Second, of course, the tournament directors may not allow you to do that, and you may not be able to win at least one game at the new rank. So that part is not entirely reliable. So the second thing is, when you are a very new player, the initial sigma is always assigned very, very high. It looks like there's a discontinuity here, but that's only because -1, the rating jumps from -1 to +1. There's no 0.5 rating. So that's why on this graph it looks like a gap, but there's no gap. There's just a regular curve like this. So entering the AGA as a new member is a very, very good way to increase your rating. Increase your sigma, and of course, therefore, increase your rating. Janice Kim here, she has recently played a tournament. So this is good. Let's look at her whole history. She had a very, very high sigma. Her sigma was 2 point something, right? Very, very high. She recently just played this tournament, and her last tournament was in 2011. So great. This is a great example of that sigma that we talked about, the sigma recovery. So her last tournament was 2011, and the one before was 2001. So remember this graph. Over 10 years is like over here, beyond 3,000 days. So this is probably how her sigma is able to be so high, which is very, very reasonable, and very, very interesting as a case to point out. Okay, so Janice Kim has one of the highest sigmas. When she beats, when she wins games, she's gonna be able to move up a lot. So here is the thing. It's 2.65, one of the highest sigmas we have seen, certainly at the 7th Dan level. Okay, now let's look at my own rating. For example, I played a lot of games. Let's put all of the history here. This is all of the AGA games I've played, 122 losses. So the recent games are ranked a little bit higher, are more important than the older games. I don't know by how much, but anyways, here is my list. And here's my rating history. You can always do this show as a table, And here it'll show, this is a graph of the dates. Started playing back in 2000 and stuff. But here is the very, very good thing. It has my rating as of these days. Each update is probably a tournament played, or like a rating point that they established. So as you guys can see here, my rating is remarkably stable with a lot of games being played, and that's mostly due to the AGA has figured out where my rating is, and it is and it sort of knows. So my rating usually does not move very, very much. However, there is an exception. There was the COVID years, 3 or so years, and so between 2019 and 2022, there were no Go tournaments, and upon coming back, I think everyone's rating sigma increased a lot, and basically the post-COVID years, everyone's rating was much lower than they were before. And so post this, up a little, down, and then back up. Now during this time period, I lost a lot of rating, right, as we mentioned, and last 3 years, how did I must have lost a lot of games in the last 3 years. I lost 21 and 79. So this was a very good example of even though I won so many more games than losing because of my initial high rating, and because because of my super high rating, I lost a lot of rating points even though I won so many more games, which is all very, very reasonable. Now let's see exactly how I did in the last couple of tournaments and see how my rating changed. Remember, this is my games list, and remember to show as a game table. The latest ones are here, 8.31. This was the September 13th tournament. I gained 0.01 rating points. And where are my games? They were hidden. Back to report. The last tournament I played was in 9/13, and here I went 3 and 1. Yinghan Duan here, he has a rating of about 7.8. Jeremy is 7.9. This guy is 7.4. Let's say 7.2. So me as an 8 dan, as an 8.34 player, playing 4 7 dans with with rating decimal points. I won 3 and I lost 1, and I gained 0.01 of rating, roughly speaking. The previous tournament, though, in August 30th, I lost 0.04. Okay, and let's see how I did in that one tournament. That tournament was here, New England Open. This guy was a 5.9 or so. This guy is 6.4. This person is 5 something. Alex Chi is 7.7, and again Duan Yinghan here, he was around 7.7 at the time. So in this one, remember how the rating changes are calculated. I beat 1 7 dan, 1 6 dan, and 2 5 dans. I went 4 and 1, lost to the same 7 dan, so roughly lost probably around the same amount of rating to this one game. But because I only beat 1 other 7 dan, in this tournament I lost 0.04. Basically, the system sort of, my win chances against the 5 dans were so high, it gave me almost no rating increase, because remember, 2 rank differences is 97%. According to that paper, and now with more than 2 ranks, it's probably close to 99, and this big discrepancy probably forbade me from rising. 6 dan probably 97, so basically 0, and then this lost me 0.04. So very, very reasonable rating system here. And again, remember, the rating system, it appears the rating system doesn't exist so that you can climb the ranks easily and reach your whatever you deserve. It exists to figure out what your true level is, and then it kind of sticks you there. Once you start losing a lot, if I lose a lot to 7 dans, my rating would go down a lot, and you saw that in my rating graph. This is Alexander Chi, a fellow professional player, and this one, he has a very unfortunate bad effect of his, this is where you start, very high sigma and everything. He played some games here. This is 2019. He was still very young at the time. Post the COVID, Alex played in the Pro qualifiers and Go Congress and so on. Unfortunately for him, you'll see that this graph barely moves. This graph barely moves. He's 6 point something. He climbs, still able to climb to 7, 7.1, 7.4, 7.5, 5.1, 5.4, 6.5, and so on. God knows why Alex lost 0.05 in that last tournament when he went 4-1. He only lost to me. I was 8.3, so God knows why Alex lost rating in that tournament. Maybe it's maybe the Go Congress games haven't registered. Maybe. Anyways. So as you guys can see, the moves are very, very small once you have a low sigma. Like I have a 0.17 sigma here, and if I'm ever climbing, it's glacial. The pace is very, very low, okay. So how do you get higher faster? You self-promote. If that doesn't work, then try to play against stronger players and then win against them, and never lose against weaker players or weaker by rating. So this brings up a very hard thing, which is if someone self-promoted for ranks, he's a 1Q, now he's a 3 dan, is his rating still like a 1Q rating, or do his opponents get helped by this new higher rating? I take it his rating probably is not, and so whoever he beats just lost to someone like really, really low. That would explain one other feature of the ratings over the years, and that is the recent ratings have become much harder to much stronger. Like here, see Alex Chi's rating is 0.16, and so of course he has a super hard time climbing, as we saw in his rating graph. Okay, we were talking about how the new ratings have become much stronger than the past, and the cutoff, it was exactly that COVID years. My rating decreased. I was around 8.8, 8.3 now, and this is the case for a great many players. This guy Minju, he's a 7P. He was very stable. His rating didn't move much around the 9.5 region, and nowadays his rating is 8.22. He hasn't played games in a long time, and so so his sigma probably recovered, and then after COVID, he's lost some games, and then this is very common. People may have more games spread out in between here, but this is super common. Everyone has lost rating in the last few years, and so therefore the AGA system has gotten much stronger than before. For example, another person is Zhou Yuan. He wrote a lot of books. His rating was 8.0. Now his rating is 6.43. It's just this is just a very, very common system. The AGA 7 dans nowadays are much stronger and relatively stronger across the world comparisons than before. Frequently, I've heard of people who are Fox 2 dans, 3 dans, who are AGA 3Qs. So the AGA ratings have gotten much stronger. And no doubt, here's another reason the rating system has gotten a bit stronger. Everyone plays Go tournaments as a way of everyone wants to feel good about themselves. So everyone does rating, enters pretty low. And as an example, I also entered pretty low, and also everyone. No one enters at their true rank. Everyone enters lower. So over the years, as new players come in, they're gonna beat the newcomers. Will win more games than they lose, and so on. Okay, I entered the AGA. Let's scroll all the way down. I entered the AGA as an AGA 2 dan, and this was in 2002. So my first Go tournament was here. I entered this as a 2 dan. After the first tournament, I was 4 dan. Second, I was probably 5 dan or so, and a few tournaments later, I was AGA 6 dan, around 6 to 7 dan. And it took about a year or so for me to go from 2 dan to 7 dan, maybe 5 or 6 tournaments. And so remember, how do you get a stronger rank? How do you climb the rank faster? When you enter the AGA, your sigma is very high. So your first few AGA Go tournaments are the most important ones. You gain your most amount of rating then because you can, your sigma is high. And once you sort of stabilize and start to lose games, it becomes harder to move. Okay, so newcomers tend to win more games than they lose, and people tend to climb the ranks. So that contributes to this rank deflation that we talked about. And that has become a little more prevalent recently with more players entering and the systems, updating and so on. Myself, I entered as a 2 dan, and people lost rating to me for sure. But it was a very quick adjustment process. So the first couple 2, 3, 4 Go tournaments you play as an AGA ranked player is very, very important. Secondly, try to do, as we said, out of date ratings and 4.2 self-promote, but you have to self-promote 3 or more stones, 3 ranks. Okay, make sure you try to do this. If you can't do that, you have to win all your games, which is also very hard. But here's another idea which this guy did. Try to start your this guy Kim Do-hyup. Try to so this guy, he played a few AGA tournaments, and his rating is 7 point something, and his rating was 7.3, 7.5. He was really unhappy with this low rating because he always claimed to be an 8 dan, and so he tried to start a new AGA membership. Unfortunately, they knew of his old one, and they didn't let him start a new AGA account. So one other way might be to use a different name. Use a different name. Just try to refresh your AGA membership by just appearing as a new person. And this guy tried to do this. They didn't let him. He won all his games at the Chicago tournament, the last one he went to. He gained from 7.5 to 7.8. So that was a 0.3 gain. But if he was able to start a new AGA thing from scratch, entering at 8.0, his rating, his profile would be 7.0, maybe 8.5, maybe even 9.0 at the end of that. So that's another way to go. Now, to conclude, guys, needless to say, these different ways, of course, are not what the AGA wants you to do, right? You think you're a 2-dan level and you're a 1-dan, but you have to go to 4-dan, right? That's not what the AGA wants. Secondly, you don't want the AGA does not want you to, to try to delete your old account and get a new name, do a name change, and then or claim that I'm the same name as what you have in your system, but I'm a different person. I swear I'm new. So crime is not what the AGA wants. And unfortunately, it's just so difficult to climb the rank ladder after the AGA has figured out your true skill level, which really pains our Texas Wolf, the AGA's strongest 1-dan here, and pains Alexander Chi. This is another good friend of mine, Jeremy. So he and Alan Huang were 7.9 something for a very long time, but very unfortunately, the AGA has figured out their ratings, and as you can see here, 7.91, 92, 95. It's very hard to improve your rank by playing a lot of Go tournaments, because again, the AGA ratings are there to figure out your rating and keep you there. They're not there so that you can climb yourself or improve upon your set rating. So this is he's 7.95 now, and so you can see a very similar thing. Unfortunately, Jeremy played a lot of games around the 4-dan, 5-dan level when he was still there, when he was young, and after he got older, it's just much harder to increase nowadays. You can see plenty of tournaments increase 0.03. How did he do in the last tournament? He played in this one. He went 3-1. He lost to me. I'm 8.3. He's 7.9. So a higher rated opponent. He played Alan. He won a similar ranked opponent. This is another 7-dan. He also beat another 6-dan. 3-1. He gained 0.03. Very glacial crawling pace here. It's a struggle. It's a struggle once the AGA has figured out how strong you really are. It really is a struggle. And plus, we've talked about how the newer signing up players tend to rank themselves low. So nowadays the AGA ratings have gotten a lot stronger, and for a lot of players who haven't played a lot of tournaments recently. Oh my God, where is Andrew? This is another friend of mine. So this guy, see, he's climbing, and then 7.3. Many games, many years without a game. He comes into the last tournament. He goes 1-4. Lost to some 5-dan. Lost to 3 5-dans in the last tournament, and his rating went from 7.03 to 5.12, a very big drop. So this just shows once your sigma is very high after recovering from a long hiatus, And if you lose, and the differences in the rank or the probability of you winning against the opponent. So he was 7, and then he played a 5-dan. He was a 97% win according to the article. And if you lose a bunch of games there, 3% events, that can move your rating a lot. So 2 multipliers. One is you have to do the impossible, which is beat players with much higher ratings than you to increase, and 2, try to have another multiplier, which is this sigma value, so that you can move and not be too sticky. All right, so 2 different ways. But again, nothing is as effective as changing your name, changing your name, and self-promote 3 ranks and above, and that'll reset your sigma, and do what the system thinks it's impossible. So as you guys can see here, it's so hard for Alex Chi, me, Jeremy to gain rating. It's also kind of easy to lose rating. We talked about all the different ways, and this is how the current ratings are. Many different ways to address this is being discussed. You can think about the sigma being kept relatively high the whole time. That would just do it right there. I'm sure if Jeremy's sigma is not 0.17, same as my sigma, if his sigma was 2.65, I'm sure the last tournament he would have gained so much rating. Instead, he gained 0.03. Okay. And of course, as you guys can imagine, I will never gain rating, basically, because I have a very high rating already amongst all the active players, and all of my victories are the system thinks my victories are normal, are high probability events, and so I would never gain rating. A lot of these, it's very just remember, guys, it's very important to play your first tournaments either after a long break or your first tournament, and win a lot there. As you can see, there's not that many players. Like these 3 guys are overseas players. 1 tournament, 2 tournaments, like 7 tournaments. There's not a lot of players who have high ratings that I can play with, so my rating is destined to go lower and down. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions. If you guys have any good solutions for Texas Wolf here, please post them in the comments. We went a very long time today, just rambled on and on. Anyways, hope you guys bore with me, and hope you guys are able to climb the rating ladder. I'll be waiting for you guys here, and because of my low sigma, even if I fall, I'll still wait for you guys around here. So okay, see you guys. Leave a comment about how to fix the problem of Texas Wolf, and let me know anything. So one thing discussed was keep like the sigma at least 0.4, 0.5. That's one thing, and 2, you never want your players to sort of say, let me wait 5 years before I come back and play my tournament so I can rank myself up, So hopefully the because right now, like Jeremy, we saw how Jeremy, he played so many Go tournaments, he won a lot more than he lost, but he's not able to gain his rating points that he so deserves. And Alex G we saw as well. So yeah, hopefully something happens, but otherwise, at the end of the day, guys, try to enjoy the game more than the rating accomplishment. Anyways, let me know. See you guys in the next one. We just crossed the 1 hour mark with this, so oh boy. Feels like I didn't talk about anything. And all right, leave a comment. And what do you like or hate about the rating system? Is the AGA system reasonable? Would you like to make any changes? Okay. See you guys.